Hello everyone and welcome to the October version of the Atlassian Community Roundup. It's amazing how quickly the months seem to be going by, but we have some fantastic news for you this month. So without any further ado, let's dive in. Alright, let's kick things off with our announcements and highlights, and unfortunately, I've got a bad one for you to kick things off. Confluence Data Center has another CVE critical vulnerability that's been posted. Please go read this article, find out if it's going to affect you, and do what you need to make sure that you protect yourself and your company. These vulnerabilities are ways that unfortunate people are trying to take advantage of your systems. So please make sure that you do everything to protect your systems and make sure that this isn't something that's going to be exploited on you. Next up, JiraCon. This was an announcement about the fact that it's coming up. It has unfortunately already passed. It was an amazing event. I do recommend going to the registration link to take a look at everything that was presented and just see if it's something that you think you'd be interested in next year. I'm willing to bet it's going to be something, so you'll want to mark your calendar when you see JiraCon come up. There are a number of great presenters who are very knowledgeable, have some really good presentations that are being shown off. It's a digital conference, so you don't have to worry about traveling anywhere. I can't say enough good things about it. Next up, as much as High Velocity has not yet happened, it is coming up. I believe the in-person should be happening around the time that this is being posted, with the digital happening the week after. And at the same time, the other thing you can look forward to is if you can't be live in person at Sydney, Australia for this, I know I unfortunately can't. If you can, I'm jealous of you. There are going to be a number of local communities that are going to have Atlassian sponsoring mini versions of High Velocity at various time periods. So if you are near one of these, you can do a mini version of High Velocity, which is all about Jira Service Management and ITSM. So go check this out. See if there's one nearby and potentially make plans to go to that in-person event. Next up, Work Life is another one of Atlassian's conferences. So if you aren't aware, High Velocity, Unleashed, Work Life, and then finishing things off with Team are the 4 events that they do in the year. And they're looking for feedback on what you would like to see at Work Life that'll be coming up in February. If you have thoughts, opinions, ideas of what you'd like to see, there is a survey link in this article. Go give your feedback and help make it a great event. Next, if you've been waiting for news on FedRAMP, we've got some good news for you. They currently have plans to have it released with their in-progress designation through an agency authorization should be available in Q2 of 2024. And their moderate authorization to operate will be coming in Q1 of 2025. It's also worth noting that as a result of the delays, they have expanded the scope so that this will not just be Jira software, but will also include Jira Service Management as well. Next up, from the university team, I believe last month we talked about the fact that the Atlassian Certified Associate is a new certification path that has been started. It is geared towards power users. So these are end users, not just administrators can get certifications now. There is a new cert that has been posted all about Jira software board configuration. If you are a power user looking to earn a couple of credentials, you should go and check this one out. Next up, speaking of things that you should know as a power user, this is an absolutely wonderful article that has been written about the best courses, both free and paid, for product managers. It highlights a number of the things that are really good, and not just Atlassian posted things, but also some other learning on some other sites. Very good listing. I highly recommend checking this out if you're looking to figure out what you want to learn to make you a better project manager in Jira. Next up, creating workflows. We all know that that's a fun thing to do. And Amanda's done a great job of showing you the basics of a successful workflow. I can't say enough good things about this. It's the secret really is simple and clean. And then everything else, including some examples of what to do, go check it out. It's a great article. And then next up, how to create the pitch deck in Confluence Cloud. Again, these are Atlassian community members sharing their knowledge with you. This one includes images as well as a very thorough walkthrough. If you're looking at trying to figure out how to create a pitch deck, you can now do this in Confluence with this article. All right, moving on over to our product feature updates. I think the big one this month is that Atlassian Intelligence is now in beta. This is just one of about 6 or 7 articles. The one has been posted for every single product. We're covering things from Jira Software and Jira Service Management to Confluence, even Trello and Atlas all have some form of Atlassian Intelligence in beta. Again, it is in beta, so it is not GA yet, but if you are interested, there are links to get involved in the early access. Please note that as a part of doing that, there is a new license term to accept. So if your company has any policies around that, you might want to just quickly run that by legal to make sure that you're all good to move forward with it. Next up, Compass is GA. This has been out for a few weeks now, but I thought it was worth highlighting again. Anyone who has not heard of Compass, this is Atlassian's product for allowing developers to map their components and their software architecture to show the dependencies of the various software components that they have. It allows you to update those through YAML configurations within GitHub directly, and it allows better cross-team communication and understanding of who owns what systems. It's generally available. There is a free and standard plan. Go check out this article. Go check out the collection. It's definitely one that I'm excited about having released. And in addition to that, Compass is now supporting a Sneak app so that you can see open source security vulnerabilities or security vulnerabilities in general as a part of your Compass dashboard for the components that you own. Next up, I haven't talked about Crowd in ages. So I thought when Crowd 5.2.0 is now available, it was worth mentioning. And the one caveat worth noting in this article is that they are pointing out that this is the last release that will support the server versions of their products. Going forward, any version of Crowd will only support data center. So if you are on server and not planning to go to data center as of the end of server happening, you will want to get this version so that you still have the most recent supported version of Crowd before everything goes away. Next up, theming for Confluence. I feel like this one should have been the top one, but Atlassian Intelligence kind of stole that spotlight. If you're not familiar with what theming is, this is now dark mode for Confluence. So for all of you, including myself, who've been waiting for dark mode for Confluence, Christmas came early. Go to the your profile menu, I believe has the theming. You can switch it over to dark mode, and you can take advantage of that going forward. And then continuing with Confluence, announcement banners were announced a couple of months ago. I want to say we covered it, but I'm not exactly sure when. Anyway, now you can schedule them. So if you know that something needs to be put out there, but you have to wait for some other communications that go with it as well, you can actually schedule the time at which that announcement will go up so it can coordinate with other communications that are happening. Next, Bitbucket Cloud now has the ability for you to keep track of viewed files on pull requests. This seems like a minor change, but it's a huge quality of life feature. I wish I had this a couple years ago when I was doing pull requests for people. The number of times I got interrupted and then trying to figure out where I left off can be challenging. This is great. It allows you to mark files as having been reviewed so that you know exactly what you have and have not completed as a part of a code review. Next up, Jira Work Management is staying with Jira. So you may have heard at Team 23 and then throughout some other communications after that, that as of March 2024, Jira Work Management was going to have its own licensing. That has been dropped. Jira Work Management is going to remain a free product for anyone who has a Jira software or a Jira Service Management license. So if you were worried that you were going to have to change your processes or have to pay more for some new licenses, fear not. Nothing is changing from the way it works today. So you can look forward to continuing to use work management projects as long as you have a license for one of the other accounts. Next, we have 2 early access programs to talk about. The first of which is that priorities per project in Jira Cloud is finally coming here. This is the one feature that Data Center has had that I really wish Cloud had had. I personally will be signing up for this one myself. I know that our company is very excited to be looking forward to this. So now the concept of priority schemes for projects is going to be a thing in Cloud, and I am very much looking forward to that. And lastly, another early access program, this one specifically for premium customers, and that is selective data copy into a sandbox. I am personally looking forward to this one as well because I'm hoping that as a part of that, it allows me to pick and choose what I want to put in the sandbox so that I can ignore the data, the data that's there, and just bring over the schema data. Anyway, that is something that's now available, and that is all that I have for you for this month. Be sure to check out the other sections, the questions left out in the cold, the trending discussions, and the automation corner, which this month I'm trying something new, and we're bringing in some developer-focused things as well. So be sure to check out all of that great content. I hope you enjoyed reading through this or watching this video as much as I enjoy putting together these roundups for you each month. As always, this is just a small taste of all the amazing content that's out there in the community. So once you've gone through this entire roundup, and be sure not to forget the questions left out in the cold, the trending discussions, and the automation and development corner, be sure to explore the community on your own to read even more great content that's out there for you to consume. And with that, thank you for stopping by, and I will see you next month.